What's up, Vyberz? If you're new here, my name is Sharice, and this is Amazing Vibes. And on this channel, we talk about inspiration, beauty, and lifestyle. So today we're going to talk about the trending topic of winter art. I've been seeing it all over the place, not really knowing what it is. It's my first time of ever hearing of that. And I'm just seeing like winter art, winter art, winter art, lock in, lock in, lock in. I'm like, what is that? I know what locking in is, but I've never heard of the winter art. So I watched a few videos on it and I was like, okay, this is what people normally do every year. Basically is when people work on themselves during the fall and winter months, you know, the coldest parts of the year where it's dark and rainy, and they're using that time to do a lot of resetting in their lives, working on their goals and things of that nature. So a lot of people in the fitness community do that to work on their summer bodies to get ready for summer. So I was like, okay. As for me, I know, especially when I was in college, I would deal with seasonal depression in my 20s. It's not so bad now, but I wanted to do a little spin on the winter arc and let you guys know what I do to combat it, because seasonal depression is real. It's a real thing. When I was going through it, when I was younger, I didn't know what was going on with me, but I did notice that I would get typically sadder during certain times of the year. And that's exactly what seasonal depression is being depressed during certain seasons. And normally it's the colder, rainy seasons like fall and winter. So today, again, we're going to talk about our winter art, how to lock in for 60 days to combat that seasonal depression. As you know, we are nearing the end of October, so we only have 2 more months until the beginning of 2025. And so now is the time to lock in on your goals. Whatever you want to do for 2025, you can get a head start right now, in addition to combating that seasonal depression. So first up, we're going to go over our mental health. So depression does affect your emotions, but your emotions come from the thoughts that you have in your mind. That's why it's a lot of times looked at as a mental health issue. So the first thing that I had to do to combat the seasonal depression, and that I encourage you guys to do, is change your perspective or your attitude. So there's a saying, if you change the way you look at things, then those things will change. So basically you have to change your perspective. And this is a great way to manage stress and combat depression and anxiety. A lot of times, yes, those things can be spiritual, it can be a mental issue, but it also can be about the way that we are looking at things. I remember saying things at certain jobs I work at, like, oh my gosh, you're stressing me out. And they're like, you're stressing yourself out. And it was a really hard pill to swallow, but they were right. Like, whatever the situation is, you're going to be in that situation. It depends on how you're going to look at that situation and what you're going to do about it to get yourself through it. Having a bad attitude and thinking negatively isn't really going to make things better. If it does change the situation, it's only going to change the situation for the worse. So what you want to do is you want to revamp those thoughts in your mind. If you're having thoughts of things never work out for me, you want to automatically flip that. Like, look at it as like you're playing a game. No, everything always works out for me. I want to get this thing that I want. If I'm not, then I'm going to get something better. But everything always works out the way I want. Everything flows smoothly for me, you know, things of that nature. Because that's the only thing that you really have control over. You don't have control over the situation a lot of times when you're in it, but it's almost like you're the captain of the ship. You can steer the way things are going. And basically what I just described was kind of like an affirmation. That's one thing that you can do, is practice affirmations. You can say things that way. You can think them out loud. You can speak them out loud. Or you can say it in a way like, I am healthy, happy, and I'm whole. Things of that nature. Once you start retraining your mind to see the good, you'll automatically start seeing the good. But you will have a little bit of like push and pull because your mind is so used to thinking a certain way for so many years. So you have to literally reprogram your mind. And it does take time. So I encourage you to make sure that you're practicing self-compassion, which is also a form of self-love and self-care. Another thing you can do is visualize. I talked about in another video. I don't know if I deleted that video or not, but I was just basically talking about how you can visualize. So if you're in a really stressful situation, you can use your imagination, and you can use it for anything. You can use it to put yourself anywhere in any predicament. So not only you can use it as a form of, managing stress, like picturing yourself on a beautiful beach in the Caribbean somewhere, or whatever your favorite place is that gives you a sense of peace, calm, and serenity. You also can visualize. What I like to do is, if a situation is not going the way that I want, I often will end up visualizing the situation going the way that I do want. And a lot of times, even within that moment or within a few minutes, the situation will immediately turn around. So it just really all depends on you and how optimistic you are, how you've worked this muscle, things of that nature. It may not always change in the beginning. It may take some time. It may not work out at all, but the first few times that you do it, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. You just have to keep working at it. It's like a muscle. You just have to keep working and keep working and keep working. And then eventually things will turn around and change in your favor. So like, for example, if I'm standing in a long line at Dollar Tree, in the summer, it's hot, they only have one register open, the other employees are nowhere to be found, and I really got to get going, I'll start visualizing an employee coming up, opening up another register and taking the next person, like either that's me or the person in front of me. And I kid you not, within a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes, and it doesn't happen every single time. That's why I'm saying it may not happen every single time. It just really all depends. But a good 90 to 95% of the time, somebody will immediately come out and then they will open up a register, and, me or the person in front of me can go ahead and move over to that next register, and we'll go ahead and get checked out really quickly. So I really like using my imagination to my advantage. And that's one thing that you guys can do. Use your imaginations for the good, not for the bad. Use it for your benefit and for your advantage, not for your detriment. So the next thing that you can do to combat this seasonal depression is practicing gratitude. This has been a real game changer for me. In addition to visualization, those are my two favorite things that I like to use, because your feelings set the tone for the day. A lot of times, I don't know if y'all have seen The Secret, but a lot of times this happens. Like, you wake up on the quote unquote wrong side of the bed. If you wake up with an attitude, it seems like your whole day goes like that, because you're just in this vibration or this like really bad mood. So it makes you have a bad day. So when you wake up in the morning, when you open your eyes, you're taking your first breath while you're fully awake, be grateful for that breath. Be grateful for being able to be alive and see another day. Be grateful that you can see, hear, touch, taste, smell, walk, talk. There's so many things that we can be grateful for, but I think that we take those things for granted. And it's totally understandable, myself included. Like, I was the biggest, like, most ungrateful person, not because I was like, didn't care about the good things that happened to me, or just, was like, whatever. I think for me, I was always thinking about the next goal that I needed to accomplish. And I wasn't really living in the present moment. I wasn't really anchoring in and leaning into gratitude, because my mind was always going about, okay, well, I've accomplished this. Well, what's the next thing I got to accomplish? And then what's the next thing and the next thing? And I have all these goals that I want to do. And that's a great thing to do. You want to have your goals. You want to break them down. You want to make sure you're working on them. But you want to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. You want to stop and be grateful for what you have, because there's a saying like, I'm living in my answered prayer right now. So we all have something that we have prayed for that we have gotten. Even if it was a kid, like you got one of your favorite toys or a pair of shoes or something like that. It doesn't have to be, right this very second. You can think about what you've had in the past. And what happens is when you're grateful for what you have or what you have had in the past, it draws more things in to be grateful for. So it's always something to be grateful for. Like I went over earlier, your breath, the fact that you can see, hear, touch, taste, smell. Like, don't take those things for granted. Think about when you were sick, right? And your nose was stopped up and you couldn't breathe. You probably would give anything to be able to breathe normally again, right? Well, if you're breathing normally now, like, don't take that for granted. That's a huge blessing. Some people are walking around on oxygen tanks. They can't even breathe on their own, or they're having difficulty breathing. Don't take that for granted. I think the human mind has a tendency to gravitate towards the negative all the time. And that's something that I have dealt with in my life. And I've really, really had to practice being optimistic. I've been working on my mindset since 2007, and I still have my days. So I have to really, really work it. Gratitude is kind of like reading the Bible. It'll work if you work it, but you have to work it. It's not just going to work for you just because you want it to. You have to put the work in. We should be anchoring in our day. When we wake up, be grateful. And right before we go to sleep, we need to focus on gratitude. And that just, again, that anchors in good feelings. Kind of look at it as like a sandwich. When you wake up in the morning, you should be focusing on gratitude. And then you go throughout your day. If you're in a situation, just like I said, like at the Dollar Tree or something like that, where things aren't going your way, be grateful for what is working. And then, you want to do that throughout your entire day. And then at the end of your day, right before you get ready to go to sleep, just take a few minutes. It can just be 5 minutes. It could be 1 minute. Just be grateful for everything that went right within that day. And then that will kind of anchor yourself into that gratitude. Lean into that gratitude. And then I'm telling you, if you guys start doing that and making a habit of it, you will start to see miracles in your life and you will not feel depressed. Like, you can't focus on gratitude and depression be there at the same time. They cannot coexist at the same time. So if you want to kick that seasonal depression in the behind, focus on gratitude. So the next thing that I want to talk about is spiritual health. And I know everyone doesn't believe in God. And if you don't want to listen to this, then I'll try to remember to put a timestamp and you can skip forward. But even if you don't believe in God, some people believe in a higher power, their higher selves. Whatever the case may be, you guys can lean into that type of energy, or you can lean into that type of experience. And just focus on honing that and spending more time doing those things. For me, I grew up in a Christian household. And so I like to spend time with God. After I wake up and practice some gratitude, I spend time with God. There's a Bible app that I have, and then it has like a verse of the day. And I'll end up reading that verse of the day. A lot of times I'll try to read the verses before and after that verse so I can get a little context of it, or sometimes I may read the whole chapter of it. I also like to read Psalm 91. That is my favorite book of the Bible, and I like to also do this morning and night as well, and it really has transformed my attitude, y'all. I used to be such a hothead. I used to be really impatient. Every little thing used to get on my nerves, and when I start to do that, especially when I read the word of God, I'm telling you, there's such a sense of peace that comes over me. It's just a peace that I feel right down in here. Things do not aggravate me. I'm not in a bad mood. I just don't feel agitated. I don't feel sad. It's a saying, it's like things that I used to trip over, I just walk past now. That's how it feels for me when I read the Bible. And even though I have my own relationship issues with God every now and then, I really do try to come back to Him and anchor into Him, because that's the only thing that really, really works for me. I notice when I start reading my Bible, like the sense of peace just goes away. I'm agitated again. I have an attitude. Everything's getting on my nerves. Just like little things. And you really suffer when you're like that, because everyone and everything can control you. It's almost like you're a puppet and they're the puppet master. And again, I talked about this in another video. I don't know if I deleted it or not, but if people see that they can get a rise out of you, some people, what they will do is they will use that to their advantage. They'll push your buttons and keep doing the same thing. And you're basically tap dancing emotionally for them, for their own, entertainment and benefit. So you never want to be that person, and you don't want to be that person that's always walking around with attitude, with a chip on your shoulder. Everybody's walking around on eggshells around you. They can't live their life because they don't want to, quote unquote, push you off. So for anybody that is a Christian or believes in God, even if you're not, just try reading the Bible. Psalm 91. It's a really, really good chapter, and just read it day and night, twice a day. When you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed at night, try it for like 2 weeks. If not a month, try it for like 2 weeks and see if you see some changes. For me, it takes about 2 weeks or so, and I'll start feeling a sense of peace. Just peace that, like they say, passes all understanding. Another thing that I like to do is I like to journal. And what I like to do is like keep a gratitude journal. I'll write down everything in that journal as a journal prompt that I was grateful for. So like, for example, say today is October 30th and you went to work today and everybody was in a great mood. They brought donuts and everything flowed smoothly for you. And, your coworkers were really nice, customers were really nice. You got a free lunch or something like that. Well, I will write all those things down in my gratitude journal. I'll put the date October 30th and I'll put, I'm so happy and grateful today that, all these things happened. We got free donuts. We got also a free lunch. Everybody was nice to me today. Everything flowed smoothly today. I'm so thankful that my employees came to work on time. Everybody was respectful, things of that nature. So that's what I like to do. So I like to keep a gratitude journal, and it helps me again anchor into gratitude and focus on the things that were going right in my life. And if you cannot find anything to be grateful for, you're literally watching this video on some type of electronic. Baby, we're in the 21st century. They didn't have that back in the day. Back in Jesus' times, computer where? Smartphone where? Internet who? Okay? We grew up without the internet. We were the generation that when the internet started, like AOL.com and things of that nature, but like we didn't have that stuff growing up in the 80s and early 90s. So just being able to watch this video, don't get it twisted, is a blessing. Hearing my voice is a blessing, meaning you can hear. Seeing my face is a blessing, meaning you can see. Not saying hearing my voice and seeing my face is a blessing. I don't mean it like that. But it means that you can see, you can hear. Do you know what I mean? You can understand what I'm saying. Some people have mental issues. They can't understand. Like some people are literally out of their mind. They're in a mental house. You're sitting here in your right mind. You have your sanity. That is a blessing. Do not take these things for granted. Think about like you could wake up one day and not have anything. Your vision could be gone. Your hearing could be gone. Your sanity could be gone. Then what? Do you know what I mean? No matter how low you feel that you are, there's always something to be grateful for. And even if you hit rock bottom, guess what? There's no way to go but up. Another thing I like to do is when I'm spending time with God is listening to worship music. And if you don't believe in God, you can put on any type of uplifting music like Pharrell's Happy or Destiny Child's Happy Face. Things that's going to uplift you and put you in a better mood. And even listening to things that calm you down like jazz or classical music, they may uplift you in a different way. They may not make you feel super happy, but you may be stressed, and it may lift you up from that stress and put you into a sense of peace and a sense of ease. So those are the things that I like to do. I notice when I'm, worshiping God and praising God, it really, really just lifts the spirit of depression, because I believe it's a spirit. I can feel it on me at times. Like in the Bible, I think it's called a spirit of heaviness. So I think the scripture is something like, and don't quote me, but I think it's like, put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. So the spirit of heaviness or depression is a spirit. It's a spirit. It's not just like mental health. From what I believe it is a spirit. Again, when I praise God, when I'm, thanking him, being grateful, focusing on him, visualizing him, listening to the music, I may feel so heavy prior to that, but I feel the heaviness lift off of me, like completely off of me, y'all. I believe it's a spirit. I believe that it's demonic oppression, but that's just me. I know some of y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy, but there's a spiritual world that's all around us. We are not just physical people that experiences the spiritual world. We're actual spirits living in the present and experiencing the physical world. Another thing that you can do to manage stress, and I don't know if this would be under like mental health. I don't think it would be spiritual. Maybe it's under emotional health, but you can look into aromatherapy. So you can look into like candles or like aromatherapy oils and scents. A lot of people like to cut up like fruits and like put cinnamon and put it in boiling water, and they'll boil it, and then you can add like some essential oils and things of that nature, and the scent fills up your home, and that also can help uplift your spirits as well. So that's like a bonus tip. Again, I didn't know where to put that, whether it was like mental or emotional. I'm not really going to go over emotional, but if it is, that will be like a tip for emotional, or it can be like a little bonus tip. All right, so moving on to your physical health. Your physical health, I broke down into different sections. So it can be skincare, hair care, and body care. Skincare and hair care and even body care really can benefit from this one thing, and that's hydration. A lot of times we're putting things on our body topically, and that's all good and everything like that. But a lot of times your body is really benefiting from what you're putting inside of your body. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on your hydration. I'm talking to myself. If you watch my channel, I've already stated a few times that your girl suffers from dehydration. But I'm realizing that like I really, really have to make time for it. And the way that you can do this is focusing on juices, smoothies, and water. And you can jazz up your water. I like to call it fruit water, but it's like fruit or herb water. You put the fruits and herbs into your water, and that actually can amp it up, not only in taste, but I feel like it boosts your hydration even more. It also helps detox your body and cleanses you out from all the clutter, and we're going to get on that in a minute. A lot of times people are dealing with depression because of what they're putting in their body, like eating processed foods and things of that nature, which may feel good in the moment, especially if you're an emotional eater like me, but you're going to come crashing down sooner or later. So it's best to just take your time and go slowly and put good things into your body. You may not feel good in the moment, but in the long run, you're definitely going to feel really, really great. You're going to feel like this natural happiness, a genuine natural happiness, especially when you're cleaning the clutter out of your body before you're introducing the new foods into your body. That's really, really going to help you combat that seasonal depression or just depression in general. And for your skincare, that's self-explanatory. If you can afford it, get into, the skincare game. Once I level up a little bit more and get some more money, I want to look into Korean skincare because I just hear so many good things about it. Right now, I'm just working with Pacifica, that's my favorite brand right now. And it really, really makes my skin feel good, moisturized, dewy, and it just gives it an overall great look and feel to it. That's one way that you can focus on your skincare. And when you look good, again, you feel good. So that definitely can help combat that seasonal depression. Just in general, just focusing on yourself, focusing on your goals, focusing on whether that's skincare, hair care, body care. Your mind won't be so on thinking about the things that you normally thinking about because you're too busy taking care of yourself to even really notice those things. Self-love and self-care is a lifelong journey, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it's definitely not for the broke, honey. So we got to make sure we're leveling up financially. I said all that to say, when you're so focused on really honing in on those things, you don't have time to be focusing on, other thoughts that's going on in your mind, how ugly the day looks outside because it's cloudy and it's raining and things of that nature. So yeah, guys, just make sure you're focusing on your goals, and not only focusing on skincare, but for your hair care. So getting to know your hair, what it likes, its favorite products, just making sure you're giving it the right hydration, washing it thoroughly, making sure it's conditioned. If you need to get a trim, things of that nature. And not only that, just playing around with different hairstyles. Again, when you look good, you feel good. So if you're playing around with different looks and different styles, that may also help to boost your mood and combat that seasonal depression. And then body care. And once again, what you want to do is, what I like to do, I like to start off with a detox. And detoxing, again, can be juicing. It can be your fruit and herb waters. You can do like a cute little flat tummy tea or something like that. Just be careful and make sure you get things that are really natural and doesn't have too many chemicals in it, because you don't want to reintroduce all these extra chemicals and things of that nature that can make you feel even worse. So one thing I like to do is I like to start off with an ISOT. That's what I'm going to start doing. Now that I'm going to be honest, I haven't checked the chemicals in that, but I've done it before and it's really been great for me. I have a different flavor this time. I would normally use the lemon one, but now I have the watermelon one. So I'm going to start on that hopefully this week. And then again, I'm going to do my juicing and my fruit and herb waters. And I'm just going to get ready to cleanse all the things out that I've been eating that have been bad, especially this past summer when I went on vacation and, just eating all types of crazy stuff for my birthday and going a whole month thereafter. So today is day number 11 for me. I've been doing it kind of backwards. I didn't do my detox at first. I've been slowly easing into eating healthily. So removing meat, removing dairy, removing all kinds of bread. The only bread that I would eat every now and then is sourdough bread for the probiotics. But other than that, not consuming a lot of processed foods, stripping the sodas and all the juices that are not good for me. If I do a soda, I do like Olipop. It's a probiotic drink. I love to drink those. It doesn't matter the flavor. They're all good to me. And then I like to do just certain juices that are organic. I'll either juice it, buying the fruits and vegetables and juicing it myself, or there's a couple of brands out there. I think it's like Natalie's juice, their tangerine juice. It's just one ingredient. And then I think it's Lakewood organic juice. And it may be like one and two, maybe 3 ingredients, but it's very clean. I don't think it's from concentrate or anything like that. It's just the real juice. So I like to drink those things. Just eating clean ingredients after you detox, looking into clean recipes, vegetarian recipes, vegan recipes, and things of that nature. Now that summer is over and we're in our fall season, I used to focus on a lot of salads, but now I'm in my soup era. So I made a really good mushroom and potato soup, and you can just focus on things like that, like whatever type of soups that you want to try. and just have fun doing this. Like, just research whatever type of soup you want to try, and then just try to make it from scratch. So they have all kind. They have like, I did mushroom potato, but they have like a regular potato. They have like a veggie soup. They have like a mushroom stew. They have a tomato soup. They have like a veggie chili. So those are the soups that I'm gonna be trying to make from scratch. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So far, it's just been really good. I do miss sometimes, even though it's only been 10 days, kind of eating the way that I used to eat, but I feel such a difference in the way that I feel, in my mood, and things of that nature. So I'm definitely going to continue on this journey. Another thing you can do, and this is an obvious one, is working out or exercising. And what you want to do is, I know there's like a lot of cold, rainy, cloudy days, but if you can get you a sunny day here and there, make sure you're going outside, working outdoors, and getting in a lot of natural sunlight. That'll raise your vitamin D levels, and that will also help boost your, not only your mood, but your energy as well. And on the days that is cloudy and rainy, you also can continue to move your body indoors. You can do a lot of indoor activities like Pilates or yoga or bar, or get you some weights, like some, free weights, and work with those. If you don't have those, get you like some water bottles that are equivalent to maybe like half a pound to 1 pound, and start off slow. So, you always should be moving your body. We were not meant to just sit all day and not move our bodies. Our bodies were made to be moved. Make sure you're doing lots of stretching. Stretching and deep breathing is top tier. I don't know if I went over deep breathing, but if not, deep breathing is another thing that you can do to help. I would say for the mental and emotional, just take a few deep breaths in, so you can take a deep breath in, count to whatever you want to count to, 5 or 10 or whatever, then hold it for the same amount, and then release it. You can do that over and over and over again. And a lot of times when you're feeling very anxious, or you're feeling very jittery, or if your mind is racing, or you're stressed or something like that, deep breathing will really calm you down and anchor you back down into having a sense of peace. And the last thing you want to do is find community. It's biblical, it's not good for man to be alone, right? Man or woman. So make sure that even if it's an online community, even if you can't find anyone in your physical community, online community, which I think at this point in the game, I feel like we're more connected online than anything else anyway. That will be a very, very good thing to do. It will help you stay motivated, and you may meet a new friend. You may develop, great relationships that can take your mind off seasonal depression as well. You may can find you a nice workout partner. You may even find a romantic partner. So yeah, just make sure you get out into your community, if not your physical community, your online community. Use it to your advantage. I know a lot of people come on here arguing, complaining, and trauma bonding. Look, I'm not judging y'all, but I'm just saying what you want to do is try to find like good groups and positive groups, especially if you're trying to change and be a more positive person. You definitely don't want to go into that group being the negative person. Make sure that you're being positive. Find a positive group of people to be around that can uplift you. You can uplift them. Y'all can support one another. And just know that you are not alone, even if it feels like it. I know for me personally, even if I don't have a community, I like just going to the gym sometimes. And for me, it makes me feel like I'm not on this journey by myself. Because a lot of times when I'm working out at home by myself, it just feels like I'm the only person in the world that's working out, that's trying to eat healthy, that's trying to meal prep, that's trying to, juice and drink my smoothies, because I live with people that don't do that. So, and then I don't talk to a lot of people. I'm home a lot. My best friend lives on the other side of the United States. So I don't hang out with anybody. So it feels like I'm by myself. Even though I see people online doing it, I know there are other people doing it. I just really like to lean into that more. And again, I like to go to the gym. And I just like people being around me and like seeing people doing the same things that I do, that it helps motivate me and keeps me disciplined, because I know, hey, I'm not the only one that's gonna go in here and suffer on this elliptical machine or whatever. There's other people in the gym that I'm going to see that's going to be going through the same thing. Not that I want them to, but you know, I don't want to be alone in suffering. But even though we're suffering for the good, we're still suffering. At least it feels like it. It's a good suffer though. So yeah, just finding your community. You can join a local gym, your YMCA if they still have those, online community. You may join a Facebook group, whatever kind of way that you can find community, make sure you're finding that community, because that's going to give you a sense of like comfort. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm not alone in this. There's somebody else that's going through this. There's somebody that can understand what I'm going through. I can understand what they're going through, and we can just help one another. And yeah, you may meet someone on this journey that may end up being someone that's going to be in your life for a lifetime. So yeah, guys, so that was pretty much all that I have for you today. Stay tuned for the next video on how to romanticize your winter arc for your seasonal depression. I did go over some things in here that you can do that were kind of fun, but I may go over those things as well. I may not. It just really all depends. But I have another video on how to romanticize your winter art to combat the seasonal depression. So if you like this video, please do me a quick free favor. Just click like. It takes half a second. It helps push my videos out into the YouTube universe. It helps the algorithm be on my side. And also subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you'll be first to know when I drop a new video. And until next time, guys, just remember that you are so amazing and continue to vibe high.